Is America about to turn inwards and prioritize its own interests? The year is 2025, and the world is watching closely. Subscribe to this channel for insights on global economics and how the US's shift towards protectionism could impact you. In 2025, the US is facing a crossroads. The global landscape is changing, and with it, so are American economic priorities. Many are asking, will America adopt a more inward-looking policy, prioritizing its own economic interests over global cooperation? It's a question with far-reaching consequences for individuals, businesses, and even the global economy as a whole. This would lead to increased job creation and economic growth within the U.S., as companies invest in domestic infrastructure and workforce development. Furthermore, a more protectionist policy could foster innovation by encouraging companies to invest in research and development in order to compete with foreign competitors. In this scenario, the U.S. would be less susceptible to external economic shocks, such as currency fluctuations or trade wars, which can significantly impact domestic industries and businesses. However, the potential benefits of a more protectionist policy must be weighed against the potential risks. A key concern is the potential for retaliation from trading partners. If the U.S. implements stricter tariffs and restrictions, other countries might retaliate with their own protectionist measures, leading to a trade war that could harm both economies. Additionally, a more protectionist approach could stifle competition and innovation, as companies are less likely to invest in new technologies or products if they are protected from foreign competition. Furthermore, a more protectionist approach could lead to higher prices for consumers, as companies pass on the cost of tariffs and other restrictions to their customers. Despite these concerns, a more protectionist approach could potentially benefit the U.S. by strengthening its national security. By reducing its reliance on foreign supply chains, the U.S. would be less vulnerable to disruptions caused by geopolitical events or natural disasters. Furthermore, a more protectionist policy could help to preserve American jobs and industries, as companies are less likely to outsource production to lower-cost countries. This would also help to support American workers and communities, particularly in industries that have been impacted by globalization. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to adopt a more protectionist policy is a complex one, with both potential benefits and drawbacks. The potential for economic and political instability in the coming years, coupled with rising tensions with major geopolitical rivals, could make a more protectionist stance increasingly attractive to the U.S. In this environment, safeguarding national security and promoting domestic economic growth might become paramount, overshadowing the potential costs of increased trade barriers. A key aspect of this approach lies in fostering a robust domestic supply chain. This involves investing in infrastructure, supporting research and development, and creating incentives for businesses to manufacture goods within the U.S. By reducing reliance on foreign suppliers, the U.S. could enhance its resilience in the face of disruptions, such as pandemics or geopolitical conflicts. A strong domestic supply chain would ensure a reliable and secure source of essential goods, mitigating risks associated with global supply chain vulnerabilities. This would also strengthen national security by reducing reliance on foreign manufacturers for critical goods and technologies. Furthermore, a protectionist approach could incentivize the development of new technologies and industries within the U.S. This could involve targeted investments in areas with strategic importance, such as renewable energy, advanced materials, or biotechnology. By supporting domestic research and development, the U.S. could cultivate a thriving innovation ecosystem, nurturing the creation of new technologies, products, and industries. This would not only enhance economic competitiveness, but also contribute to long-term economic growth and prosperity. However, it is crucial to recognize that protectionism can also lead to unintended consequences. One potential drawback is the risk of stifling competition and innovation. If domestic businesses are shielded from foreign competition, they may be less motivated to innovate and improve their products and services. Moreover, protectionist measures can lead to higher prices for consumers, as domestic businesses may not face the same competitive pressures to keep prices low. This can disproportionately impact low-income households, exacerbating existing inequalities. Balancing the benefits of protectionism with its potential drawbacks requires careful consideration and a nuanced approach. The trade war has also hurt global trade and investment, making it more difficult for businesses to operate across borders. This has resulted in higher prices for consumers and businesses, as well as job losses and a slowdown in economic growth. The impact of the trade war has been felt across the globe, with countries like China and Mexico particularly affected. The trade war has also led to uncertainty and instability in the global economy, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future. The debate over protectionism versus free trade is complex and ongoing. But what's clear is that the U.S. is at a critical juncture, facing a world that is increasingly interconnected and interdependent. The decisions made today will shape the future of the U.S. economy for years to come. It is important for the U.S. to engage with the global economy in a way that benefits both its own citizens and the global community. This means working with other countries to resolve trade disputes, promote free trade, and create a more stable and predictable global economic environment. Now, while the future is uncertain, there are steps individuals can take to prepare for potential shifts in the global economic landscape. Here are some practical tips. Diversify investments. Spread your investments across different asset classes and geographies to mitigate risk. This includes investing in stocks, bonds, real estate, and commodities. It also includes investing in companies located in different countries. By diversifying your investments, you can reduce your exposure to any single asset class or region. This can help to protect your portfolio from losses in the event of a downturn in any particular sector or market. Stay informed. Keep abreast of global economic developments and policy changes that could impact your finances. This includes reading news articles, watching financial news programs, and attending industry conferences. It is also important to stay up to date on government policies that could affect your investments, such as changes in tax laws or trade agreements. By staying informed, you can make more informed investment decisions and better prepare for potential economic disruptions. Support local businesses. Consider supporting local businesses to boost the domestic economy and create jobs. This includes shopping at local stores, eating at local restaurants, and hiring local contractors. By supporting local businesses, you can help create jobs and stimulate economic growth in your community. Local businesses often provide a more personalized experience, and they are more likely to invest their profits back into the community. Supporting local businesses can also help to preserve the character of your community and make it a more vibrant and desirable place to live. A stronger domestic manufacturing base could be crucial for national security, particularly in critical industries like technology, pharmaceuticals, and defense. It would reduce reliance on foreign suppliers and ensure access to vital resources during times of crisis. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The potential downside of a protectionist approach can't be ignored. Let's take a closer look. Higher consumer prices. Restricting imports can lead to higher prices for consumers, as goods become less readily available and competition decreases. This could disproportionately impact lower-income households and put pressure on household budgets. A study by the Peterson Institute for International Economics found that a 10% increase in tariffs would lead to a decrease in household income of roughly $1,000 per year. This is a significant amount of money for families already struggling to make ends meet. Stifled innovation. Protectionist measures can hinder innovation by limiting access to global talent, ideas, and technologies. This could slow down economic growth and make the U.S. less competitive in the global market. For example, the U.S. semiconductor industry relies heavily on foreign suppliers for components and materials. If the U.S. were to impose tariffs on these imports, it would make it more difficult for U.S. semiconductor companies to compete with foreign rivals. This could ultimately lead to a decline in U.S. innovation and competitiveness in the global semiconductor market. Retaliatory trade wars. If the U.S. adopts a more protectionist stance, other countries may retaliate with similar measures, leading to a trade war that could harm everyone involved. The trade war between the U.S. and China is a prime example of the destructive consequences of protectionism. Both countries have imposed tariffs on each other's goods, leading to higher prices for consumers, job losses, and economic uncertainty. The U.S.-China trade war has had a significant negative impact on global trade and economic growth. Job displacement. While a stronger domestic manufacturing base may create some new jobs, it could also lead to job displacement in other sectors. For instance, if the U.S. restricts imports of clothing from China, it could lead to job losses in the U.S. retail sector, as consumers are forced to pay higher prices for clothing. This could also lead to job losses in the transportation and logistics industries, as fewer goods are being imported into the U.S. The potential for job displacement is a serious concern that must be addressed if the U.S. is to pursue a protectionist trade policy. Reduced economic efficiency. Protectionist measures can reduce economic efficiency by distorting market signals and preventing resources from being allocated to their most productive uses. For example, if the U.S. imposes tariffs on imports of steel, it will make it more expensive for U.S. businesses to use steel, which could lead them to use less efficient materials or to locate their operations outside the U.S. This could result in a decrease in overall economic productivity and growth. Remember, it's crucial to stay informed, adapt to the changing economic landscape, and make informed decisions that protect your financial well-being. Subscribe to this channel for more insights on global economics and how the U.S.'s shift towards protectionism could impact you. We'll keep you informed as we navigate this complex and ever-evolving world.